I wake up and I see another shot contest debate going on. Mike asked the community if a defender stands in front of you, he's in good position, but he doesn't put his hands up, he doesn't jump, he doesn't do anything to contest the shot. What should the contest be? 0%, like open, 5%, 10%, like basically asking what you think the contest should be. And we got people on there saying they should be getting 10% or more than 10%. Like basically saying you should be, basically they want ghost contest back. Y'all do realize adding ghost contest to the game is going to make the game objectively worse, objectively less skillful, and objectively less fun. And then the whole, here we go again, the people bringing up the realism versus video game. People are like, oh, if someone stands in front of me in real life, it affects my shot. That's because you suck at basketball, bitch. You are not an NBA player. You are not a 99 overall, all the badges, all the attributes basketball player. You go to LA Fitness and hoop with the regulars. We could leave you wide open. You're still shooting 20% from three. If you want to make the realism argument, if you stand in front of Steph, KD, Bron, any NBA player, you stand in front of them and don't put a hand up, you don't contest the shot, it is not affecting them dudes. And you can take it even lower level than NBA. College players, if you just stand in front of a high-level college player, you're not affecting their shot. They are going to shoot the fucking lights out, bro. We don't care what your experience was trying to make the JV basketball team as a senior in high school. That does not apply here. We are NBA players on this game. We need to associate the logic of NBA players if you want to start bringing in the realism argument to it. Come on, y'all. If y'all bring ghost contest back to the game, it's going to be objectively worse.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy back with another banger. Okay, I'm a little late, but nonetheless, as you see, the topic of today's video is gonna be about something I kind of made a video about before, which was the contest from the patch. But after that patch, Mike Wang went on to post, if a defender is in perfect guarding position but doesn't put a hand up, what contest coverage would you expect on the perimeter jump shot? The options were open, 1 to 5%, 5 to 10%, or other. Me personally, I said height goes into it, but I really feel like, this is an open shot. Now, the big discussion came because there was 1 to 5 at 36%, 33% was open, 5 to 10 was 28, and other was 3. Other just meant you could pick what you wanted. Now, with that being said, I take height into accountability, simply because, you might have to alter your shot. Not necessarily saying your shot itself, but getting to that shot might have been a little different. But we got people like Uncle Demi, and I'm not gonna shy away. I've spoken Uncle Demi before on this channel. I'll say at least a good bit of the time. I can't even percentage it out because he have some wild takes, but a good percent of the time, my lord, he'll say something, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. This is the first time I couldn't agree, because he didn't know he was a D1 student, and D1 basketball player, blah blah blah, and he felt like all right, so someone gets in front of me, things get uncomfortable, blah blah blah, because you got to worry about landing space, like, oh, what if I land on his ankle, such and such. And in my head, that don't make sense because it's a basketball game, right? I'm not worried about landing space. I can't get hurt. my player isn't going to get hurt. And then on the same note, if you doing this and you trying to be realistic about it, Stephen Curry don't care if you just standing in his face. Kevin Durant don't care. How many times have you seen Kevin Durant pull up in someone else's face? Kevin Durant might catch it, jab steps, realize like, all right, I'm just gonna pull up right over the top of your head. And they close as they want to be. So like, that's where I can say I side with Joe Knows more, because it's like, and that's what you got at the beginning of this video. If you don't know who that is, he's one of the major players in 2K. Joe Knows got to sit down with Mike Wang. Joe Knows is one of the players that people don't want to play against. At some point, I want to run up against Joe Knows this year. I really want to test my defensive capabilities. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the topic. The topic was, Joe went on and he was just like, Steph, KD, those NBA players aren't missing that shot, especially if you're not playing defense. And I completely agree. Like, it doesn't make sense to me to want anything besides open. Because if you look at it like this, and I think it might be selective because I think everybody got their own opinion of perfect guarding position. I feel like that's where it went wrong at, because Mike, I don't think he can play perfect guarding position without a hand or the thought of jumping. Like, just being in front of somebody don't give perfect guarding position. I mean, I guess you can, because you're in position to guard him. You just didn't. So I guess. But me as somebody that hoops in real life, you put my mom or something, just have her stand directly in front of me, regardless of me, if I'm not worried about, I might land on her ankle, which is I'm not in a game, but if I'm not worried about, she might, I might land on her foot and roll my ankle, I'm gonna shoot over her head. My mom isn't that tall. And I actually decided I wanted to give it a real shot. So me and my cousin went to the court. He's 6'2". I had him stand as close to me as possible. The only thing, no hand up, no nothing. The only difference was getting to my shot, getting to the point where I can pull up and shoot. That is the only difference. Other than that, that is an easy shot for me to make. There was no, I gotta worry about anything. No, it's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. I feel like if you want a contest from that, bro, you want what Joe Knows said. A ghost contest happens when people are just around, when they're just near. Kind of like how Intimidator was. Intimidator had its own, little distance. You could be near someone and you'll still get a contest, even if you didn't jump, you didn't raise your hand, any of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I've never been a fan of 2K making it to where you could just put your hand up and get a contest, because I also feel like that's really, that's overpowered as it is. Sometimes you don't have to jump. This year it's really, really bad. You absolutely have to jump to get a contest. But that's another thing. I feel like hands up should only work if you're in perfect guarding position. When I say that, like, you see that shot right there where I'm as close as I could possibly be, that's when I feel like hands up could work. Because again, if we're gonna continue to blend logic, real life and gaming, I'm not worried about somebody that's running from the paint to the 3-point line holding their hands up. bro, that's not affecting me because when I'm doing a jump shot, I want to jump. And if you're late, that's not affecting me. So for 2K to give you any type of contest on that, it's just slightly crazy to me. But I understand. Sometimes, like, again, that kind of some of that depends on your jump shot. But hey, nonetheless, I really want to know what everybody else is thinking. This is pretty much a lot of these. This is actually the end of a game that we played, but I realized there were a lot of just shots taken, and the contest on some of these shots were slightly high for something I wouldn't think about, or low, and I'm just like, all right. But what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Have you noticed anything different on these shot contests? Like, is it for the better? Is it worse? Do you notice nothing? Me personally, I've seen a lot of ghost contests. I've seen a lot of bad contests where I'm like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna get a contest off this. This shit's not gonna do anything. And they still get a contest or whatever. I don't think it broke the game. I don't think it did anything crazy. It definitely didn't, patch the 7.4s, because that's what you see me playing on now. Yeah. And you see how that went. So it didn't really patch anything, and I'm pretty sure I was guarding a 7.4. So you still have to jump at everything, and I never really had a problem with those. But again, my final verdict is it didn't do too much. It wasn't crazy. I just don't like the fact that people think that you should be able to not play defense at all. I feel like you're not putting your hand up. As everybody knows, it's hand down, man down. That's my opinion. But with that being said, y'all already know how this goes, man. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, and I'm out. Triple L's, and until next time.